Yes, you can quit masturbation, and these tips are for you. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Bismillah, alhamdulillah, wa salatu wa salamu ala rasulillahi sallallahu alayhi wasallam. This video is being created specifically for those people who've been trying very hard to quit masturbation for the past years and they couldn't. They failed. They went into the same cycle again and again, failing to come out and exit from the misery. This video is for you. The idea is very simple yet require a lot of effort on your part. Listen, there is nothing easy in this world. This very life is uneasy. So you have to struggle a little bit, and that's the idea of jihad in Islam, is to struggle against your own evil inclinations. So toughen up a little bit until you live the life that you've always wanted. So what are we going to discuss in this video? Very simple, something called neuroplasticity. Forget about that complicated name. Neuroplasticity is the science of how our brain works. The more you introduce to your brain habits, actions, and so on, pathways in your brain will be created for that particular action to produce certain hormones to remind you to repeat the activity. What we're gonna do, inshallah ta'ala, is train our brain on adopting new, healthier habits that will override the addictive pathway in your brain. So what's tip number one that will ultimately help you break free from the cycle of masturbation addiction? Number one is productivity, productivity, productivity. I can never emphasize this enough. You'll have to fill up your days with productive activities. You cannot stay alone. If you're really serious about breaking free from masturbation addiction, promise yourself not to stay alone behind closed doors. And what are the practical tips that can help you achieve that? Maybe writing journals, talking to a trusted friend, going to the gym, reading beneficial books, and so on. But don't stay alone behind closed doors. Tip number two, don't be ashamed to ask for help. Reach out to a professional counselor, a professional coach, and tell him or tell her your agony in what had led you to where you are today. Because many a times people who are addicted to masturbation or visuals like pornography, they have experienced something in the past that had led them, or a traumatic experience like sexual abuse and whatnot, that had led them to where they are today. So seek out professional help. There is no problem to seek help from psychologists, psychiatrists, and professional counselors to help you cope with these struggles. Why? Because addiction is overpowering, is very compelling, and a person may never be able to break free from that cycle on his or her own. So you need somebody else to help you get out of that misery. Tip number three, exercise. Yeah, I know many people hate it, but exercise helps our brain produce certain hormones like endorphins and other chemicals reactions that usually are produced during the act of masturbation and watching pornography. So when you replace that, when you replace the habit of masturbation with exercise, you receive certain amount of hormones in your brain that provide you with happiness and satisfaction. But you don't have to stress out about how many hours you should exercise per day. You can choose as you please. You may walk in the parks or on the streets, you may go to the gym, you may swim. Whichever exercise you may choose for yourself that is suitable, do it, but do it regularly. And you'll be surprised, in such a short span of time, you'll be able to regain your mental clarity, something that masturbation and pornography usually rob us from. On the top of that, you'll be able to establish a new habit, the habit of exercise, something that you will always need along the journey of recovering from masturbation addiction. Tip number four, fight one battle at a time. Your brain cannot accept massive changes at once. One step, one bit at a time. For example, write down a list of habits that you wanted to exercise and you wanted to bring into your life, and pick one or two and start putting them into practice for a week, for two, for three, until they become part of who you are, part of your life. And once you are confident to go for more, then go for more. But take one bit, one step at a time. Tip number five, celebrate your wins. When you maintain sobriety, celebrate it. Talk to your accountability partner, to your mentor, to your professional coach, and I'm sure they will celebrate with you. They will champion you for breaking the cycle of addiction, even for a day, for a week, for a month. But you need to hear those words of encouragement from others. Why? Because your brain will start registering that you're actually resisting this activity, and on the long run, your brain will cooperate with you. Tip number six, Don't torture yourself when you relapse, because the journey towards recovery from masturbation addiction is not going to be easy. It's not smooth. There will be ups and downs. There will be days of sobriety and strength, and days of relapses and weakness. So you'll have to accept the journey as it is. It's a one package deal. So be patient and persist and continue on the journey towards recovery. It's gonna happen one day, so long as you insist on completing the journey, inshallah. Because getting mad at yourself every time you relapse and bringing these negative emotions into your life will actually become a trigger. At a certain point in life, will become the triggers for you to go back into your undesirable activities. So don't torture yourself, be kind to yourself. Tip number 7, and the last on my list today, is righteous and good friends to pull you back whenever you relapse, whenever you go down that path. Call them, be amongst them. The Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, said, Al-mar'u ala dini khalilih. A person will always be inclined to follow the way of life of his friends. So be careful who your friends are. Filter them, whether they are online or on-site or offline, wherever they are. Be very selective when it comes to righteous and when it comes to friends in general. Because if they are inviting you to that which is unlawful, to that which is undesirable, guess what? You will also follow their path. But if they are righteous, reminding you of who Allah is, then most likely you will be, inshallah, firm upon the path of steadfastness. I hope that this video is beneficial. If you found it so, please share it with others. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.